All right, all right. We gotta start off this AMC video as is typical with Red Days, with a little bit of a meme, a little bit of some nice stuff for some gigs. We had this made for me by somebody over at Twitter. I'm very grateful, by the way. It's Trace Trades Gorilla Gang. What is up, everybody? They pasted my face to a freaking gorilla. I had to share this on Instagram. This is absolutely awesome. If you've got any memes you want to share with me, I am a meme guy. I like memes. I am a big meme guy. I will very gladly look at the memes. So that is what I just wanted to start off the video with here today, my friends. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trace Trades. We have technical analysis in different stocks in the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's get into the video. Today, my friends, we're going to give you guys a lackluster update on ticker symbol AMC, AMC Entertainment Holdings. We have quite a bit of things to speculate going into the price action here today that did end up playing out. But nonetheless, we do have quite a bit to talk about in terms of recent news, some new institutional ownership in the stock, developments with that Amazon potential buyout that everybody has been talking about, right? Well, I've got some very interesting things to share with everybody, so let's get into the video. We've got quite a bit to talk about. So, we're going to start off here. This is CTRM. I did just make a video on CTRM, so my apologies there. But we're going to start off with Ortex. I want to start off with Ortex and show you some of the data that has been given to me on Ortex. So, I do have AMC pulled up here. The current utilization rate is 68%, which is a little bit higher. It was 66% previously, so it's up about 2% from where we've seen it in the past. Utilization, if you're not familiar, essentially is how many shares are available for lending and lending programs. 0% means that no shares have been borrowed. 100% means that all available shares to borrow or lend at a lending program have in fact been lent. So there is about a 32% availability for short shares to be given out to a company, right? To short or a hedge fund, right? So that's it's a pretty high amount of utilization nonetheless. There are companies right now that do have higher utilization. I think CTRM, I did just make a video on that, has 100%. So I think the squeeze potential there at this given moment is higher than AMC is sitting, but nonetheless, I do think there is still good squeeze potential with AMC. The overall cost to borrow is up to about 4%. And if we do just check out AMC here on Fintel, we do have some updated numbers here as well, which I do think are very significant to show you. And that is right here. The short borrow fee rate. This was 2% yesterday, so it has already doubled, which is pretty. We have, according to Fintel, an update on the overall short volume for the day. So on February 16th, which was today, we saw 13.5 million total shares shorted, which is 60 million total of the, compared to the market volume of 60 million, was about 22% short volume ratio. Take this with a grain of salt. There is a little bit of manipulation happening in my eyes in the price action here with AMC. And this is pointed out to me by somebody over at the Discord, a good friend of mine, Go Chuck Rocks. Let me read this out to you really quick. So, they basically only take the FINRA reported short volume. This is Fintel he's talking about. Missing data from other exchanges like BATS, NYSE, and NASDAQ. But then they utilize all the exchanges markets for the daily volume. Basically, they are severely misrepresenting the short volume and artificially deflating it by only pulling data they want to show. So essentially what he's talking about is by only pulling the short interest from FINRA, right, which is an X amount. Maybe that number is true. You get in that overall, short volume from FINRA. But if you're taking all the data from BATS, NYSE, NASDAQ, it's inflating the overall volume that you're seeing on a stock, right? So it makes it look like, comparatively to the overall market volume, it's a lot lower in volume ratio than what it actually is. And thankfully, Go Chuck Rocks, I take no credit for this in the least bit, put together a very detailed spreadsheet with a bunch of different resources from BATS, FINRA, NASDAQ, and NYX data. And I want to share this information with you because I think this is a much, much, much more realistic perspective of what the overall short interest and short volume ratio looks like on the stock. So I want to point this out to you, the master short ratio table. This tells you a lot more, I think, than what we haven't seen going on. And the numbers here are exponential. So I want to point these out to you. This is the overall short ratio in comparison to the total volume. So we've got the total short volume here and the total market volume on the day right here. So, excuse me, choked on my spit. You ever do that, guys? That's no good. Anyways, we've got in the last 10 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, right? We can see that there's been very high numbers. I see some people say that the overall short volume ratio on AMC is somewhere between, around 50% or 15%, the short interest number, right? I don't think that's true. I think it's a lot higher than that. And we have some confirmation here based on a lot of different resources that were put together. It must have taken him hours. So mad props to you, my friend, for doing this. But nonetheless, look at this. On the second, 48%, 49%, 52, 51, 55, 37, 27, 49, 41. And I think today, when the numbers are updated, we have new information available to to us, that is going to be going back into an upward direction, because even just Fintel, right? Take Fintel with a grain of salt. Fintel's number is up to 22%, which comparatively to the previous days is up about 5% comparatively to the overall total volume on the day. So I think that is pretty significant numbers to pay attention to, my friends. I do think that the overall short volume on this stock is being misrepresented. We do know that Fintel changed their numbers, right? They cut them exactly in half. We know that no matter where you look, you're going to get different numbers in regards to the overall short interest and the short volume ratio on this stock. So there's a lot of misrepresentation of data. And I think that the potential for a squeeze is 100% still here, but it's just not going to happen without that volume and the volatility that we're currently missing on this stock. So I want to be transparent with you guys. I never want to BS you. That is how we're looking right now. But there are some other things that I want to cover here today. First off is this. Market Beat has AMC with a new investment of Charles Schwab Investment Management Incorporated. This was as of today. Charles Schwab took a 1.77 million share stake in the company. That is not by accident, my friends. Companies do not just randomly drop 1.7 million shares into a stock that is supposedly a dead cat. A dead cat. Right, $1 for every time, even just a penny. For every time somebody told me, this is a dead cat trade, just let it go. You scam people, yada, yada, yada. I'm telling you what. Charles Schwab doesn't think it's a dead cat, and he's putting $3.75 million on the fact that this institution thinks it's not a dead cat. So, whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't you do you, my friend. But nonetheless, that is significant. I do think that is something you guys need to pay attention to. Another thing that I want to show you is this. Check this out. In case you think this Amazon buyout talk is unlikely or old news, peep and share this. 5 of Amazon's largest institutional investors recently invested in AMC nearly at the same time. Let that sink in. Check the dates. Speculation or not, I smell something. So Amazon's largest institutional investors are the Manufacturers Life Insurance Company. We've got Nomura Management, American International, Public Employees, and Stifel Financial. Now check this out. AMC, American International, Nomura, Public Employees, the Manufacturers Life Insurance, Stifel Financial Corporation. All these companies took a stake in AMC as of February 12th and February 13th. That is significant. Anytime that institutional buyers, and guys, I called this a long time ago. I said, you're going to see institutions and hedge funds that decide to step into the stock and go long. It is going to be cutthroat. There are going to be companies out there that decide, hey, we're not going to short this. In fact, we're going to burn some of these hedges and take the money from them, because it's not for us. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're not trying to help us, but they are trying to make money where there is opportunity to make money. And there is opportunity to make money here. I'm telling you that right now, my friends. I feel very confident in saying that. Another thing that I want to point out is this. Forbes did retweet a tweet back from about a year ago talking about Amazon potentially buying out AMC. I don't think that it's a coincidence that you saw that Forbes did this. I think there's a lot of speculation in regards to, maybe a little bit it was for clicks, right, to help to make some cash or whatever, but nonetheless, it does line up very well with this, right? Amazon's largest institutional investors, investing in AMC. That is significant information, right? Coincidence or not, speculation or not, I don't think that's by accident. You would not see 5 of Amazon's largest institutional investors step into AMC for absolutely no reason. You would not see Charles Schwab step into AMC with a huge stake of about 1.77 million shares, $3.75 million for no reason. That is significant data, guys. And the last thing that I want to cover here on my Twitter page is this. This is going to be a shorter video. I am trying to get through this as quick as I can, but check this out. Share this before I go missing, boys. 54 million shares failed to deliver. I repeat, 54 million shares failed. Check this out. This was posted by the U.S. Securities Commission. So check this out. GME stocks not paid is 10.6 million. AMC stocks not paid 54.2 million. They got to deliver them. Last month was half the stock. Now I'm saying this, all these stocks they said in the news they already covered. Bring in the money. So we're going to look at the overall numbers here. Check this out. AMC. This is the overall dates from my understanding. You can see these down here. Check this out. 15,902 shares failed to deliver. 27 million shares failed to deliver here at $4.96 as the price. 584,000 shares that failed to deliver when it was $19.90. Guys, that is astronomical. That tells you there's a lot of really crazy stuff happening here. There's also AMC. AMC is failing to deliver every day. This continues the trend for both of these stocks not being delivered every day. AMC had 27 million shares failed to deliver. And the AMC short borrow fee rate doubled in the past hour, which I did just also talk about. So it was up from 2%, which means that the utilization on the stock, I think, is higher than the current information that is being reported to overall companies, right? Such as FINRA, such as even Ortex, which is a company that I pay $500 a year for to get up-to-date relevant information, factual information that I can't even trust right now based on all the stuff that's going on with this manipulation in regards to the hedge funds and the different numbers being reported, the different hit pieces coming out, the different institutional numbers, right? So that is very, very significant, my friends. I do think that is something to pay attention to. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys is the AMC institutional ownership. I want to look at how much of this company is owned by institutions, and it's at 17% just about. So 47.9 million shares compared to the outstanding shares of about 287 million total. Now, keep in mind that the current utilization, right, on this company, according to Ortex, is 68%. So a lot of these shares being shorted, some of them are counterfeit. Some of them don't actually exist. They are naked short shares. So that is going to inflate the numbers a little bit, make this a little bit harder to actually factualize. But you do have to consider that there's also going to be a huge piece of this shares outstanding that is affected by the short volume ratio. Now, check this out. We have Dimensional Fund Advisors. They did sell out of their position here, so that is something I want to be transparent with you guys. I don't want to BS anybody. That is something I want to show you. So they currently have 0 shares. They sold out of their position, but we've got Vanguard, BlackRock, Silver Lake Group, right, and all these recent companies, which we did talk about here on my Twitter page, that do have, according to MarketBeat, a position in this company. So there are some institutional buyers here, and I don't think this number is completely up to date. I think it is actually a little bit higher than is being reported here on Fintel. So that's very significant data, my friends. I don't think this is a dead cat, and I think there are a couple different ways that you could see AMC play out. I can think of 3 different scenarios. Scenario 1. You'll see a squeeze. And what's going to happen if it squeezes? You'll know if it squeezes. Because when a squeeze happens, say squeeze one more time, I freaking dare you. If a squeeze happens, it goes up hundreds of percent, if not thousands of percent. So this would go from $5, $6 up to 60, 70, 80 bucks if this ends up squeezing. And squeezes can last anywhere between an hour, a couple hours to like 2 days. So the opportunity for you to make money on that, you'll know when it's happening. You'll know when to cash out because this is going to run like you would not believe. But it's going to take some volume for that to happen. We're not there right now, right? If we look at the daily chart, just look at the overall volume on the daily chart really quick. The volume was nothing to write home about today. It was just barely higher. We had the Tuesday 2 million thing, which I don't think people actually bought into, to be completely transparent with you, because we're seeing another red day. We had another red candle, opened pretty decently high, but just bled the rest of the day. So that's what we're looking at like right now. On the RSI, about 48 on the daily chart, but on the 1 month chart, sitting at about 45. So pretty flat. Nothing really to write home about. It did touch up here at 77, but I do think that's what it's going to take. We're going to need that volume to start stepping back up in AMC, which we don't currently have. So based on the numbers available to us, the short interest is there. The short volume ratio is there. We know that institutions are shorting the stock, right? So that is what it's going to take, is the volume to step back up in order to see that squeeze happen. Is it going to happen soon? I don't think so. No. I think it has potential to happen down the road, but we're just not there right now, right? So keep that in the back of your mind. Scenario 2. I think you see an Amazon acquisition. It could be Amazon or Netflix. I think Amazon is more likely based on what we have been seeing presented to us. And if Amazon acquires AMC, it's lucrative. Shareholders do take a stake out of that acquisition deal. Now, I don't know exactly what the numbers will come out to, but I do know in Microvision's case, who is in talks with companies like Microsoft, Ford, possibly Apple, right, for a company acquisition, right? Shareholders receive a stake per $1 billion in acquisition. So if you receive $10 billion in acquisition for Microvision, right, you would take $1 billion times 10, so 10x, whatever per share they agree upon for that overall price in acquisition. If the same thing happens here with AMC in regards to a Amazon buyout, right? Shareholders would receive a stake from that acquisition deal. So that is also a very lucrative process. That is a way that you'd be able to make a return on AMC, this situation, right? That is situation number 2. Number 3 is neither of those happen and COVID and quarantine eventually lift, right? The restrictions lift. We go back to somewhat of a normal lifestyle in regards to, quarantine, being able to go to the movies again. And we know that AMC raised a lot of money. When their stock was up in that $20, $25 range for as short as it was, they raised about $700 million after taxes and fees, which they're going to be able to use as cash to sit on to continue operations until COVID restrictions lift, right? So this is going to help them get back at moving up in the theaters, right? They can maybe, have some potential growth, expand a little bit, maybe get into some virtual reality stuff, which I've seen floating around on Twitter and Reddit, right? So I think at the very least, if none of those scenarios happen, right, Amazon does not acquire AMC, you don't see a squeeze happen, this is going to be a $20 stock by May or June. 20 at the least. I think 25 is also realistic. And if we compare it to, I think, Cinemark, my bad. Cinemark is currently trading at $21.50. So I think there's a lot of potential here to at least match Cinemark. If we look at the overall financial situation, we're just going to do a little comparison and take a peek at their overall numbers. So on their income statement, if we look at their gross profit, they saw $24 million in 2020. If we take a peek at AMC, it's probably a little bit less. $24 million. It's higher. $84 million. Guys, You get what I'm saying here? You get what I'm saying? That's significant information. So I think this stock is extremely undervalued. They're not in debt of going bankrupt at this current moment, right? They paid off a lot of debt. They raised $700 million. They're sitting on cash. They're going to be able to continue operations into 2021. Once restrictions lift and they can really start making money on their overpriced popcorns, guys, I think this is going to be a company that's cooking with Crisco no matter what. And think about this. Your Roth IRA will get you a 10% annual return on a very good year. And if you can double up on this stock, God, you would quadruple up if you had an average of $5. If you could quadruple up on this stock and hold this until June, why would you not do it? That is a great opportunity, and I really do think it is presenting itself here for everybody to take if you are interested in doing that. So that is all the information that I have available here on the internet. We are going to look at the previous couple days on price action, what we're looking at. We do still have this nice ascending level of support. A little bit of a flatline day today, but nonetheless, it was still setting higher lows overall. We are still respecting this ascending level of support. We had a little bit of a double top here. Double tops typically are a bullish, I shouldn't say bullish, a bearish indicator, but it was a higher high, barely. So that could be potential for, an upcoming run. It did hit about $6.79, but bled literally the rest of the entire day. So take that for what it is. Nothing really crazy to write home about in terms of the price action today. Currently sitting at 45 on the RSI. The 15 MA is trading way underneath the 200 EMA as of right now. It is going to take some time for this to get moving again. I really truly do think if you want to see this move in a positive direction, it is going to take some volume stepping back into the game, right? But this is not a dead cat. You would not see institutional buyers step into this. If you were telling me this is a dead cat, guys, if you tell me this is a dead cat, if you tell me this play is over, you are just being ignorant. You are not paying attention to the numbers. You're not paying attention to the people buying this. You're not paying attention to the short volume numbers that are coming in on this, right? You're not paying attention to the news that is being released on the stock. When the media stops covering this, when the hedge funds stop shorting this, at that point, I will admit this is a dead cat. But this is a live freaking cat, guys. This thing's got 90 freaking lives. This is not dead. There's so much life left in this. I truly do believe that, and I'm going to continue to hold and add to my position whenever I possibly can. And that is what I have for the video today, my friends. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like. It really does help support the channel, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. Lastly, I have an affiliate link in the description box down below for Webull. This is version 4 for the desktop. Absolutely great platform that allows you to start trading at 4 a.m. in the pre-market. If you use my link, you get 2 free stocks with a $100 deposit. I receive a free stock. Great way to support the channel, and if you're not interested, that is totally fine, my friends. I just appreciate your support by taking the time to watch my videos and be a part of the Guerrilla Gang out here at Trey's Trades. I've got a link to the merch store down in the description box as well. If you'd like to check that out and buy some cool hoodies and t-shirts and stuff, that is available for you as well. That is what I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, my friends, and I will see you all next time. Peace.